Hey guys, I have two openings to take on factory partnerships where I'll be your partner on Amazon. You would work directly with me and sell through one of our accounts. If this is of interest to you, please email me directly, danny@sellersessions.com. Also, we're now open to take on more clients for our PPC agency Databril. You can visit sellersessions.com/agency for more details and also request some of our new case studies. If you'd like to work with me one-on-one, turning around your business, some troubleshooting, dealing with ranking or PPC issues, you can book 1-hour consults via sellersessions.com/consultancy. Basically, this is a cost-effective way to troubleshoot your business and get a video recording of the session so you're able to put it into action post-call. Hey guys, welcome back to Seller Sessions and a welcome to a brand new year. 2019 is here. This is the first show of the year, so we thought we'd do a special roundtable. Of course, something that we cover quite a bit on the show, but we want to do an update on ranking and see where the landscape is as of now and some of the stuff that we're going to be doing over the next 6 to 8 months. As you know, ranking moves pretty fast. So I'd like to introduce my guests. So kicking off from top to bottom, we have Paul. Do you want to quickly introduce yourself?
Yes. Hey, thanks for being here, Danny, and everyone else. I run the chatbot.
Yeah, excellent. So that's Paul Harvey. Below him on the screen here is Anthony Lee.
Hi, Anthony Lee here, president. Yeah, new title. Awesome, right? President of SixLeaf.
Next one is just a phone icon at the moment because he had to dial in from the Ukraine.
Hi, I'm Michael Hartman here, co-founder of Innoventic.
Excellent. And obviously, Chris, another guest who's been a regular on the show.
Yeah, what's up, guys? Chris, founder of Judo Launch. We provide software services for sellers, and we also manage accounts and help sellers expand internationally. So, but I'm also a seller myself. So, yeah.
I think we can all say that everyone's sitting here.
What? You're a seller? What are you talking about?
Yeah.
Oh, wait. Yeah, so am I.
Cool. Excellent. Right. So first question, let's get the elephant out of the room. Do giveaways still work? I'm sick of asking this question. We know they do, but let's just go into the detail just because we still see stuff on Facebook from people that will turn around saying, I tried to do a giveaway and it didn't work. Therefore, the system's broken. It's against terms of service. Can we get this one off the table and then we can get into the decent stuff?
Can you define giveaway?
Yes, using discount codes to give away products on Amazon.
Are you talking about hard discounts, like 90%, 80%?
Yeah. 90%, 80%, these things. Yeah, they still work, but not as good as a full price buy. That's basically it.
Yeah, but they still do work, right? So they're still being effective. And the big thing for me about this is that if they didn't work, then there wouldn't be any launch companies in business because they wouldn't be able to take payment off their regular customers on a monthly basis for the services rendered. And they'd be called scam artists, wouldn't they?
No, they do. The difference is in like how and when they work. Like, I mean, there was a time when you could just have one day of like a ridiculous amount of sales and that was enough to like boost your rank. And then that didn't work as well.
Yeah.
And then it went from super URLs to, only, or the thing that works best is like a more organic search and buyer journey. And then it's like, how many days sequence do you do the launch for? Like personally, from the data that we have, we've found through the analysis of all the different, because we let people launch in all of these international markets that we launch in whatever way they want. And the ones that tend to work best are ones that take a longer period of time, like 10 days was the point that we found most optimal. And that's just with the data set that we have, not.
I actually can speak to this because I just dove into the data. So here in the US, I know that a lot of Chris's data is international stuff. Here in the US, we recently went through a really weird shakeup where everybody was experiencing rank earthquake or whatever, where it's like, what's going on here? Like everybody. And you run a launch and it would be like all over the place. Why isn't it working? Oh, wow, it is working now. It's not working again. Like, what's going on? That happened for 2 months, 3 months. It only recently appears to have stabilized here. we still don't know what went wrong. We still don't know what happened. It had something to do with a big, change. I'm the last person to ever admit that there's a big change. Most of the time, all changes are very slow and gradual and constant. But it looks like there was a big change. Now that things have stabilized, we finally dug into the data. So this is very fresh and new data. This is all within maybe 30 days. But we looked at it, and once the ranking stabilized, we saw right now exactly what Chris said. Launches on our end, anything that lasted over 7 days was sticking. Anything that didn't go over 7 days was struggling.
Yeah.
Also, it didn't appear that the discount amount mattered, but we did see a lot more of the sticking ranking within the 50 to 80% range as opposed to the 90, 95 plus. But we do have some that are 95 plus that are doing really well. It's just there's a whole lot that was doing really well, like the 65% off mark. And then also the volume. This is where my head's been at. I've actually spent a lot of time focusing on the velocity, because I have some theories about whether or not velocity might, I have a theory that Amazon might be treating discounts, deep discount promotions differently. And it's actually triggered possibly by velocity, because you notice a bunch of people were running like really big blasts, and then suddenly they were going, I dropped in rank. How did that happen? So what we're seeing is the steady within, I don't know, say between like 15 and 50 codes per day. So nothing massive, nothing major, and the differing amounts every day, but within that tight range usually. Also between 2,500 and 15,000 exact search, historical search volume. These are all the components of formulas that we're seeing massive success with. Obviously there are outliers. There are ways to tweak it to make it to where it works in other parameters, but our data is supporting that. And just like Chris said, so I'm sure that if he went deeper, he'd also be able to corroborate a lot of that, I think.
Exactly. And I mean, with a lot of launch, like you guys know far more than me, you've got more data than me on this, and you do hundreds, if not thousands over the years, right? So for me, logically, when you look at something, if Amazon wanted to change their algorithm, but still, which they do allow for doing giveaways, it does make sense to me that Amazon will maybe look at, well, look, these guys are doing 90% off all the time. So they're not selling any organic units, but they're giving all these away. There's a risk there to the customer, because they're relying heavily on the deep discount rather than the quality, and that might piss off the customer. The customer is the number one priority for Amazon, right? So then maybe what they're looking at, there's a ratio between the amount of organic units sold over what the discount codes were. So example, they may not let you go page 1 in 7 days with not a single organic unit sold, and they're all based on discount, because there's no real flavor there. There's no proof in the pudding that this product's going to be susceptible or acceptable, for the customer, because by the time they get mailed out the door, they arrive, they play with them, the horse is already bolted. The product could be quite poor, right?
Yeah, and that's possible.
Yeah.
The problem is, though, but do you get those organic results not being on page 1? Yeah. Which is the point is, it is possible that it's a time thing. It's possible that it's a sales velocity thing. It's possible that it's a coupon amount thing. We actually, everything stabilized so recently, we don't know yet. I don't think anybody has enough data to dig that deep into it yet.
Yeah.
But stage 2 of a good launch plan nowadays, if you actually go to any of the groups where people are they know what they're talking about, appears to be a mixture of promotion types. So that's where you're running your coupon launches. If you have a bunch of inventory, and that's the kind of strategy you can employ, but you're also doing like lower discount, like maybe some Facebook ads running to 20% off, and then you're also maybe doing some rebates, and then you're also putting a lot of money into PPC, both in Amazon and like regular full price purchases on Facebook, as hey, we got this new product. And then when all of these traffic sources are pushing sales, people are reporting that they're seeing awesome results because I think it sends a clear message to Amazon, like, I'm doing real marketing. I'm not just relying on this one little hack.
Yeah.
Right.
So you could be running product display ads, your sponsored ads, for instance. You could run some Google ads, sending off-platform onto Amazon, and then what you're saying is diversifying your coupons, the amount of units that you give away in terms of coupons, and obviously staggering the discount codes at different levels. So just giving Amazon a new look each and every time, rather than here's a consistent, we're going to give away these 90% off discount codes, and that's all we're going to do.
Yeah, the follow-up is definitely key. I think a lot of the sellers that we see have, because there's really like two types of launches. There's one where you launch and you get the visibility, but then you drop back down relatively quickly. And that does happen with a non-negligible portion of launches, even through us, I'll say. But then there's another type of launch where they get the visibility and then they stay and they keep it. And I think what Anthony said is definitely optimal. Having all those traffic sources, that's the best you can do. And like you said, you're hearing that from advanced sellers. But I think one thing that works, that's way easier, that we see sellers do, and we always recommend this to sellers that we have direct contact with, is after the launch, just go really hard on the PPC, especially for the first month after a launch, really hard on the PPC. That's a really good follow-up that makes sure that you get the visibility where people have their wallets out. Facebook is great, but people are looking for pictures of their friends. You need a very sophisticated strategy on Facebook. I mean, it is a great platform, but it's very easy for you to just get PPC going and really spend on it, because that gives you that organic follow-up to that launch, so that you have, like you said, Danny, not all discounted launches, discounted purchases.
Yep.
One thing I've found.
Paul, you was going to say something.
One thing I've found is that all the people that say that giveaways don't work are pretty much one-trick ponies. Is that I think if you use giveaways with a variation of strategies, it still works ridiculously well. I mean, I launched a new account, a new brand from scratch a few months back, and first thing I did was blast the giveaways. I sold something like 60 to 80 units in a day. I sparked up, it was great, and the next day later it just bombed hard. But then I did it again, mixing up the traffic, and I ranked with Pt1 within a couple of weeks. And it was much easier doing that than just a one-trick pony. So I think that essentially for new Amazon sellers, for newbie sellers, you can't just be doing one thing. You're doing a variation of things. Only then we actually get the traction you need.
Yeah, I agree.
No, I think, and
but
Michael,
I
sorry.
agree. The days of just getting something out of China and slapping your brand on it are way over. You really have to look at building the brand and building everything out with the brand, which includes not just PPC, not just giveaways, includes the Facebook page and everything that goes into a real brand if you want to stick on Amazon and stick selling things.
That I also agree with too, which, I mean, not to go against anything you said, Chris, you're one of the wisest, individuals in this industry, and you have all of my respect. But I think despite the fact that, yes, Facebook ads are hard and it takes an advanced strategy, I think it's wise for anybody that plans on being in this game in the long term to start learning it ASAP.
Yeah,
because that is going to be an important part of your strategy in the future. I mean, unless you just want to constantly be, launching new products on Amazon, which is a strategy too. It's just a very cash extensive one.
Well, if you boil everything down to the crux of the success metrics on Amazon, for instance, it's your marketing skills or your team's marketing skills and the quality and the selection of your product. They're the two bits that stand out. You get those two bits right, you can employ services to take care of accounting and all those kind of things. But if you don't nail both of those, you need the visibility and you need a decent product. They're the two key components. So it's always going to go round is that they're the two skill sets that you're going to need to succeed, I believe, on Amazon or in any marketplace.
And just about that, I completely agree. I had two clients. One sold a kid's toy, the other sold bath salts. And the kids' toy, I was getting clicks. I was running the Facebook ads for them. The clicks for the kids' toy was 10 cents a click. The bath salts, because it's pretty boring, was upwards of $1 a click. And the guy was complaining about saying, no, it's because your product is not very exciting. I mean, if you're exciting product, then Facebook ads are so much more effective.
Yeah. Before we move on to like URLs, I'm going to go through these steps. We've kind of come under the definition of do they still work? We know that they do, but it takes a bit more work. Can we talk about the calculations? This is another thing why things don't work, is when people miscalculate the amount of units to give away and not selecting relevant search terms to their product, not just search volume based search terms, but the relevancy. Anthony, do you want to take it away from there?
Okay, I'm sorry. What was the specific question, though? You're being very British on me today. I don't understand everything you're saying.
Sorry, we're talking about the calculation. People miscalculate the amount of units and miscalculate the correct search term that is relevant. And it's so key because you can take, I don't know, let's just say that you want to take some sort of case of some kind. I don't know, it could be for a better word of it, it could just be a case for a laptop. But there's different types, there's different sizes, there's different models and makes, and there's different marketplaces. So you might just choose laptop case, which is really broad, and it will have probably the highest search volume, but it may not be relevant to your product because yours is a leather case, you know, that is 3 times more expensive. And so it's just dialing in that part and the amount of units you should give away. So how are you calculating?
Okay, I will say that because of the speed at which Amazon changes, I've had to change my strategy on this too. Once upon a time, it used to be take the biggest term.
Yes.
Throw 500 units out in a single day, rank number 2, and then you're going to get all the sales. I've done that before. That's really not how it works anymore now. I would say even worse than not picking the keyword that is, or the keywords that you're going to try and focus your ranking efforts on, your advertising efforts on, etc. I would say even more than not choosing the one that's as relevant as possible for your product. It's a lot of people come out of the gate with that strategy going for the most general keyword, underestimating how expensive and difficult it is to try to rank above your competition when you don't look like you belong there yet, right? So when you're talking about a keyword that gets like 150,000 searches a month, and then you look at the top 5 sellers and they're all established, most of them are big brands, they all have 1,500 plus reviews, and you think that you're going to be able to do enough giveaways and get to number 3, sandwiched in between those guys,
they're
and stay
there,
there, like it's not even going to happen because you got 2 reviews. Everybody's going to look at you and be like, what is this, right? No, then they're going to turn around and choose the big name brand that's sitting right above you because there's no competition between the two of you there.
Yeah, and that's look at the marketplace as an ecosystem too. Going off of what Anthony just said, it's like long term. Do you want to constantly be on that hamster wheel? Do you want to have to constantly be fighting an uphill battle? Like you want to go for the keyword and for a product market offering that naturally sticks where it is because people that are searching for that thing are really looking for exactly what you have. And this is what I love about the stuff that Chris Davies been talking about with his own brand. He now goes for a strategy where he develops a unique product that has unique value and in a quite niche sub niche of his category. So instead of weight loss supplement, it would be an organic weight loss supplement. And instead of just an organic weight loss supplement, it would be an organic weight loss supplement for yoga moms or whatever, something like that. That's really specific and tailored to that demographic. And for people who are searching, weight loss supplement, organic yoga moms or whatever, that's a really stupid example, but something that's really specific to a sub niche. And then he knows when people are searching that, he has a unique selling proposition for that. So he's bound to get high conversions for that keyword. So when he does the launch, it sticks, not just after that launch, but, permanently, long term. And he just, since it's a little bit more niche, but it's still a pretty high volume category. Like, I mean, weight loss supplement, I would never go into that category, even if it was niche, but even if, still a fairly high volume category, now he has like a product that he really doesn't have to worry about like long term. He's not constantly having to do promos and climb back up the page, because the marketplace is an ecosystem, and Amazon has created the A9 algorithm to make it such that it's an ecosystem where the products that make sense, end up where they should be when a customer searches a given term. So you don't want to be fighting that uphill battle. You definitely don't want to go for a keyword just because of volume. Relevance is probably the first thing you want to think about, then volume, not the other way around.
The easiest way to find out if your product is relevant is a visual search. Don't just look at the tools that's giving you search volume, which we'll get into later, because obviously Amazon shut that tap down. So that's no longer available, although the data could be aggregated. We'll talk about that later down the line in the show. But the one of the simplest way of doing it is, does your product look like the other products on the page? Because have you seen it where you can get kind of a broad, let's just say water bottle. Like a water bottle on page one, depending on the marketplace, can look like anything, and it could be nothing like the water bottle that you've got. And your water bottle might be something where you put like the fruit in it. I can't remember the terminology, or whether
the fruit infusion.
So you might buy, have a really nice one for like £16, but they've got these shitty plastic ones that are sold like just above add-on price. Do you see what I mean? That are dominating positions 1, 2, and 3, which maybe instead of being FBA, is fulfilled by a merchant, and they're making their money on the postage. Do you see what I mean? So it's trying to ascertain and understand that part first. And I think that's where a lot of people go wrong, because they look for the big search volume and go, right, that keyword to do, I'll rank on that, without putting the rest of the picture together.
I put up 3,000 listings last year, and I went for the exact opposite, man. I went for low and medium search volumes. And next year we're trying to put up around 30,000. So a little bit different strategy there.
You get busy in the
and let's face it. Normally I'm doing this from Romania.
Christ, yeah.
Yeah, I just got a pool of 70,000 or 700,000 SKUs, so I just have to pick out the ones from there.
Right. Okay. So nice, easy job then.
Wait, I'm confused what you mean by different. You just said you go after low and medium. We're talking about, the relevant keywords not being the highest volume. So I feel like there's some overlap here.
Correct, but I'm going for long tails, and I'm going for a lot of different variations on those. So
which you're going to end up being more relevant. Think about it this way: the longer tail it is, probably the more relevant it is, right?
Correct. Yeah. See, I'm not gonna so I go against a bunch of competitors that sell a lot more than I do, on one product. But when I combine, let's say I have 500 variations, I actually sell more than they do. Mm-hmm. Right? It's just they're spread out across these 500 variations, where this guy only has one listing. I have 500. Mm-hmm. Right? So they're all different variations based on, I don't know, color or size or something like this.
Hey guys, that's it from us. Please rejoin us again in a few days' time.